Hello, welcome to the program Spiritism Inspiring Lives. This unique moment in our existences that we are invited to reflect about ourselves. Today's theme is self-effort. We start by reflecting that this reflection focuses on the process of self-effort, which refers to the active choice of taking responsibility for our actions and decisions, as immortal beings as we all are. It highlights the necessity for personal initiative, where we consistently strive towards our goals despite any obstacle or setbacks. Through perseverance and dedication, meaningful progress becomes attainable. Personal initiative is the willingness to act independently and make choices that shape our inner journey, our inner growth. Determination is fundamental to continue working towards the higher objectives in accordance with our reincarnation agreements, even when faced with challenges. Setting and pursuing goals is fundamental to personal and spiritual growth. Through self-effort, we are empowered to make deliberate choices and work diligently, transforming aspirations into reality. This ongoing commitment leads to both progress and a sense of inner fulfillment, promoting inner peace. Therefore, self-effort stands as a cornerstone in our ongoing journey of evolution. By embracing personal responsibility and demonstrating persistence, we experience meaningful advancements and deeper self-realization. Self-effort plays a crucial role on our spiritual journey, guiding us to strive for a deeper sense of connection and understanding. Just as self-effort is fundamental to personal growth and achievement, it is equally vital in the pursuit of our spiritual enlightenment. Taking personal responsibility for our spiritual journey involves the willingness to engage actively in practices and disciplines that nurture inner growth. This requires initiative, choosing to seek the truth, wisdom, and self-realization, rather than waiting passively for transformation to occur. Perseverance and determination are essential qualities, enabling us to navigate the inevitable challenges and doubts that arise along the way. By consistently applying effort, we move closer to achieve our spiritual goals, experiencing mental and emotional progress, as well as a profound sense of inner satisfaction. Self-effort on the pathway towards God is about embracing our own role as an active participant in our spiritual evolution. Through persistent effort and unwavering commitment, we foster our own advancement and come to experience a deeper connection with the divine within us, the essence, the truth. As we presented our initial reflections about self-effort, bear in mind that is the constant inner activity, using our free will, training the higher qualities of the soul that we are constantly choosing to promote us further. So to advance in our reflections today, let's learn a bit more to reflect about ourselves with the Spirit Emmanuel in the book Perdão e Vida, when he starts talking to us in saying, I quote, "It's time for self-initiative, personal effort in favor of the individual's self-illumination, lost in the ocean of the collective." We can think about or start to think, why is the enlightened being inviting us by saying, it's time? I mentioned previously that we are old souls in new bodies. So we already went through different existences through different reincarnations. So I guess it's time, perhaps because we have been wasting a lot of time and not focusing or not practicing the self-effort in overriding our old shortcomings, imperfections or shadows, limitations. Therefore, it's almost like we are stuck in our inner promotion, and also therefore stuck in becoming healthier, happier. So we can always do that. Self-initiative is an invitation to empower ourselves. As mentioned previously, learning to take the responsibility means developing the internal autonomy and be responsible in training self-effort, in disciplining my thoughts, in holding healthy belief systems, in educating my emotions, in choosing actions of goodness for all, so that we can gradually grow out in case we are lost in the ocean of the collective. Learning to think for ourselves and sustaining that thinking in a rational way according to the greatest truth that comes from God. Let's try. We can all do that if we are willing to practice. And continue with Emmanuel, I quote, he says, every person should and can possess self-thought qualities. So we can put effort into learning to meditate or learning to self-analyze ourselves. Are my thoughts of quality? And which kind of quality? Is it inferior or is it superior? Do I know how to differentiate those values? What kind of thoughts are prevailing in our psyche? Bear in mind that our thoughts is the way how we are talking with ourselves. And every human being, every soul is constantly thinking. So it's fundamental to learn, to choose, to develop the self-effort, to practice as a free choice, to analyze ourselves, our belief systems, if they are healthy or not, if they are promoting well-being or not, so that we can differentiate and also change whenever it's necessary. Let us learn and practice working or detachment without becoming fanatical. Within the activities we are responsible for and within the tasks we are performing. Do we know, as immortal souls, as immortal spirits, which kind of activities we are responsible for in this existence? For example, in our homes, if we have the family project, what are my responsibilities or what are my activities? I'm developing them in a responsible way, or doing my activities in a very mechanical way, indifferent way, or sometimes even in a very negative way, in complaining constantly, or not? What are the major activities of our existence? Are we putting effort into to promote us further? Because we promote ourselves through the daily tasks, which are external elements that the universe presents to us for us to learn, to train us, to overcome ourselves, to become better, to become healthier, psychically speaking, as spirits, using our free will and training self-effort. Some people may say that it's easy to change your negative belief systems in a positive one. Sometimes it could be, sometimes it may be very challenging. But even if it's very challenging, believe me, we bring innate ability to actualize ourselves. The only thing what is required, effort, practice, repetition, as a free choice, not because we have to. We are in charge of our existences. We are within the possibility to empower ourselves in selecting what is good for us today, tomorrow, and always. What is good for us today, tomorrow, and always also needs to be our choices that is good for everyone. So, our choices in our daily existences, or activities, or experiences, are they, when we look around, if everyone would be thinking what we are thinking, is that promoting ourselves as unique individuals and also the community, the family where we are in? Promoting, I mean, in a better way, in a more fraternal way, where we are more friendly, where we are more, when we can sustain brotherhood, despite of the different backgrounds in culture, the color of our skins. Let's reflect about that. And then Emmanuel carries on by referring here, I quote, generally, when we confess ourselves to be downcast, often complaining against everything and everyone, we find ourselves simply trapped in the prison of the me, which we carry with us like a very difficult burden to bear. Sometimes we feel like suffocated, or sometimes we may feel tired. Sometimes we may feel exhausted. Let's analyze our thoughts, our thinking. Negative belief systems drains our energy, that we may feel tired. Negative belief systems that we are complaining about everything and everyone. Sometimes we are so negative, so intoxicated, that we are complaining about the weather. The weather is part of nature. In this country, or any place where we are. And as more as we also reflect within ourselves in a deeper way, as more as we connect with the deeper reality within ourselves where the truth lies, we discover that the weather is part of nature. So why do we complain? Let's change. Let's put the effort into to accept what we cannot change and put the effort into in changing what we can change for a better quality of life. Let's accept people as they are. And let's promote the inequality of thoughts, be more creative so that we can, let's say, navigate amongst each other in a more loving way, in a more forgiving way, in a more tolerant way, because we are freely choosing to put effort into in disciplining our thoughts or inner conversation, educating, transforming our emotions, understanding that we can learn to be in control of our emotions as long as we put effort into this exercise, this practice. We do not need to be enslaved by our primitive emotions and therefore be unhappy, lost in the ocean, collective ocean, as Emmanuel said previously. It's fundamental that we choose to put the effort into on a daily basis to promote our own individuation. We are unique. When I refer to develop our own individuation, that has nothing to do with our indifference. It has to do in getting out of the values from the collective, from the massification, so that we can breathe within ourselves better, that we feel calmer, that we feel more centered. The truth, the unique truth in the universe, dear friends, we bring it within our deeper consciousness. But there is the need for us to have time to be with ourselves and to learn also to think on a deeper way. As I continue with Emmanuel, I quote, "If you find yourself in such an occasion, with your spirit isolated in loneliness, remember that the door of the soul opens only when from the inside out, and seek liberation from within yourself." Let's put the effort into the journey within ourselves, to be willing to take the responsibility for our own individuation, our own individuality, to become better than we are, because we are learners of ourselves. Let's open the internal door, meaning let's open our hearts, let's open our minds to qualify our thoughts, our belief systems, to be willing to promote ourselves to a healthier way of relating with us and others. As we are in this period of the year, which is equal to any other period, but within the collective Osho, as Emmanuel mentioned previously, where are we when it comes to Christmas? What did we as immortal beings learn in our individuation process that Christmas means to us? Do we feel that we are lost within the collective Osho? Or do we observe and analyze ourselves that actually we did put some effort into already in the past, either in this existence or in other existences, that we are promoting values which are transcendent. They transcend what is egoistic, what brings peace, what does not depend on what is external to us, but depends how we are connected with our inner deep divine resources that we bring with us. And as we navigate throughout these days, in the same time that belongs to God, doesn't matter if it's December, January, February, March, doesn't matter. What matters is to put the effort into our inner spiritual growth, that we promote tendencies, choices, that encourage us to go beyond where we are today. Real happiness does not depend on anything external to us. It depends to listen to ourselves and be willing to love us a bit more. Love, self-love, does not depend on having money or material things, because a lot of brothers and sisters in the world do not have those resources. Then, if that would be the reality, God would be unjust. And God is just with all of us. The ability to love, to do good, is in front of everyone, everywhere, all the time, as long as we put the effort into to expand our consciousness and the willingness to practice charity with ourselves, with others, everywhere, all the time. And in that way, we are fulfilling ourselves and also we are promoting inner centeredness, inner peace. So let's try. It was a pleasure to be with all. I wish you much peace, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.